Hi and welcome. We are Luke and Manuel and we are taking you along on our journey through Southeast Asia and, as it turns out, a little beyond to Japan. After 2 stormy days in Aoshima, we made our way to Kagoshima. From there we took a day trip to Ibusuki for a traditional sand bath and another one to Kumamoto to explore its impressive castle, parts of which were damaged by a massive earthquake in 2016.
Hey. Mach mal. Hey.
Kagoshima is a city in the south of Kyushu, sitting right next to an active volcano. And it's very active at the moment. We were hoping to witness a small eruption during our stay. Spoiler, we weren't lucky. But right after we left, there was a big eruption.
On our first day, we took a boat from Kagoshima to the foot of Sakurajima to watch the volcano up close. Smoke drifted steadily from the summit, slowly curling its way down the flank as a quiet reminder of its constant activity. Since you can't get anywhere near the crater due to the risk of an eruption at any moment, we opted for a stroll through the coastal geopark instead. The entire landscape there is shaped by the cooled lava from the massive 1914 eruption.
Day 2 in Kagoshima. Today we do a little day trip and we take the train south to Ibusuki because this town is famous for some very special geothermal activity and we will show you soon. Luke's just grabbing some drinks to be prepared for the 2-hour train ride. What did you got?
There is mock good.
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 Okay, we made it to Ibusuki after a 2-hour train ride.
Yeah.
Now we're heading to the beach, back there.
Yeah, we already hear this Jack Johnson like ukulele sounds, tropical, but the weather is just like 24 degrees and still cloudy but no rain today.
Even though Ibusuki is famous for its unique attraction, which we'll show you in a moment, the town itself felt surprisingly empty and almost deserted. We arrived at the beach here in Ibusuki and maybe you can see it between us. The beach is famous for it's hot actually,
So there's coming steam out of the sand, and you can get buried in the sand. We are just about to do this in this, like, looks a little bit like a slum in this hut, get buried in the sand, and we're not sure if we're allowed to film there.
As filming inside was not allowed, here's some footage to help you visualize the procedure.
We've just been to the sand onsen.
Yeah, it was a really nice experience. You basically get buried alive because you get covered in hot sand, and it was a really nice experience because it was relaxing with all the weight from the sand, and you felt like a tucked-in baby.
Yeah, and afterwards we took the free public onsen too, which came with a sauna, which was quite nice because we didn't have sauna from the day we started our trip, so this was quite a nice experience.
And maybe we burnt our brains to do this kind of video take.
Maybe.
On our way back, we hopped on a special train that was included in our pass. It had a charming early 20th century vibe with vintage details and seats that were turned to face the windows. Perfect for kicking back and watching the coastline glide by.
With the Kyushu 7-day JR Pass, we could also take the Shinkansen. And even though Kumamoto is much further from Kagoshima than our first stop, we arrived in what felt like the blink of an eye. Local transport, however, seemed like it hadn't changed much in the past 100 years.
In Kumamoto, you'll find the Kumamon bear, the city's mascot, everywhere. We spotted it at the station and even along the way to the garden we wanted to visit.
So, we arrived in Kumamoto at the Suizenji
Park with a difficult name.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be a very beautiful park, and let's see what we do here.
Yeah, at least we needed to pay entrance of 400 yen, so I hope we're going to see a lot. Here's like a miniature Mount Fuji, some shrines, and we will just stroll around now.
Yeah, just follow us. a pretty beautiful park and absolutely worth the
entrance fee of 400 yen. So
yes.
go here if the weather is nice. I think it's even more spectacular if you go in springtime when the sakura, the cherry blossom is. But even now in the almost winter,
It is really, it brings you down.
someone put a lot of effort in cutting all the trees, and the grass is very green here.
So our second stop in Kumamoto is Kumamoto Castle, which you can see behind us. What you also can see is that it was hit by an earthquake in 2016. And rebuilding the castle is still ongoing. I think we saw a sign that it might take until 2052 to rebuild the castle to its original glory.
Yes, I read in this little booklet that the castle itself is already 400 years old, and that it was not the first earthquake that hit the castle. There was also one in 1889. So reconstructing it is a ongoing challenge for this. But it's even though it's just partly opened, it's worth a visit because it's very impressive, extremely huge, and also seeing the damage you can see here at the back. The tea house where the ground is missing. And now we wait for some dust to come up, because here should be like a special show where the water and the castle combined. We'll see. It starts in 15 minutes. Then we will go up and see Kumamoto from the observation deck of the castle. Which looks like pest control is actually the fog show.
So after that fog show we just saw, we made it to the actual castle, which is right behind us. And we were pretty excited, I guess, at least I am.
Yes, me too. It's really impressive, and let's see what's inside.
We made it. How are your impressions?
Yeah, it was a sporty exercise to go up the 6 floors. It was very informative because there was a real museum in there, and you saw on each floor the different eras. And I learned a lot, but I also happy to have the booklet to read everything in the train later because I had a little information overload.
Yeah, definitely. And that's to say, it looks original from the outside, but from the inside, not so much. They completely rebuilt it, I guess, due to earthquake safety measurements.
Yeah,
So
it's top notch now.
yeah, it's top notch now, but not that much from the original interior actually left.
So, for now, we say goodbye from Kagoshima. Next time, we'll visit some places with a very dramatic past. If you enjoyed the video, leave us a like. Thanks for watching and see you next week.